Hi guys, it's Tablet-News.com and I'm here with the famous LG G Flex. It's the first curved phone that we're testing. It has both a curved body and a curved display. It was launched in November internationally and the price tag is $650 off contract in USA, 300 on contract. I have to say that this is the start of the curved smartphone trend, so you better remember this model. This is the model that started it all as far as curved designs go. Well, as far as the design is concerned, this model measures 8.7mm in thickness, it weighs 177 grams, it looks very slim and it feels pretty slim. It has a 6-inch screen, it flexes a bit, and by flexing I mean that you can press it on a flat surface, apply some pressure on it, and it will become straight instead of curved, and then it will revert back to its curved format. It's basically just a gimmick to do at parties rather than a useful feature, although LG has advertised a pretty nice way to use this curve. For example, if you place the phone in the back of your jeans and you sit on a bench or something, this curves nicely on the shape of your bottom. Okay, it also has another technology, innovative one, aside from the curve. We have a self-healing back area, but frankly speaking, that's more of a gimmick. We scratched it twice here with the keys and the scratches remained. We didn't apply too much pressure. From what I've heard, you should apply about 500 grams maximum of pressure, and anything after that it will remain scratched. Anyway, I scratched it with the keys and it didn't heal, so the self-healing aspect was not done very good. The design here involves a bigger and curved LG G2 if you want. That's my first idea. It even keeps the back buttons of the LG G2, meaning we got this on-off button here and volume buttons, just like the famous LG flagship from last year. I have to say that these buttons offer a better feedback, the home button, the on-off button and the volume buttons, compared to the G2, and also have a very slim bezel for the screen, which is very nice, and this curve of the screen will match your face. We will make holding easier, and other than that, it's a pretty slippery phone, pretty glossy, and it really draws dust, prints and stuff to its back area. Speaking of the back area, I have to say that at the back we can find the camera, obviously with LED flash on one side, infrared emitter on the other side, the power button that lights up beautifully, volume buttons also here, speaker here, logo, and we move further to the bottom where there is the micro USB port, microphone and audio jack. At the top we've only got a microphone, and on the front side we have the sensors here and also notification light, earpiece and front camera. To the left we have the micro SIM card slot accessible with a special metallic key, and this beautiful curvature will actually fit your face very nice and get the microphone closer to your mouth. As I said, this device is basically a dust magnet. You leave it half an hour on a desk, you'll be back, it will be full of dust and hair and whatever else. Overall, it's an interesting design, an interesting experiment. I like the format, but I'm not sure if it can stand the test of time. As far as the hardware is concerned, this is a 6-inch display. It's a POLED, plastic OLED, 720p screen, Gorilla Glass protection, and it has an RGB panel. The CPU is a quad-core Snapdragon 800 2.2 GHz processor with Kite 400 cores. The GPU is an Adreno 330. Continuing the spec list of this device, we get 32 GB of internal storage, of which 24 GB are actually accessible to the user. There is no micro SD card slot here in case you're wondering. We have 2 GB of RAM, and the camera at the back is a 13 megapixel unit with LED flash. Camera up front is a 2.1 megapixel unit, and we have a huge list of connectivity options that includes quad band, GSM, GPRS Edge, LTE, HSDPA with a download speed of 42 MB per second, Wi-Fi dual band, Wi-Fi direct, DLNA, Bluetooth 4.0, NFC, infrared, micro USB 3.0 compatible, and also USB host support, USB on the go, slim port support, GPS, GLONASS, finally accelerometer, proximity sensor, and we have come to the section that you'll probably be interested in, the battery. We have a bunch of screenshots to reveal the power of the battery to you. Okay, so we're dealing with a lithium polymer unit, 3500 mAh. The battery is slightly flexible according to LG. It has a capacity of 13.3 Wh and it's a 3.8 volt battery. Here you can see that we started the test at 100%, 1641, it's It's 4 in the afternoon, and our test involves keeping the brightness at 50%, starting HD playback, and we achieved 12 hours and 15 minutes. As you can see, continuous HD playback, and in the end we only had 2% left, and 12 hours and 50 minutes had passed at that time. So it's a very respectable figure, 12 hours and 15 minutes of HD playback. The charging time is actually pretty good, 2 hours and 7 minutes using this port for charging, and you can get 25 hours of talk time out of the device, or you can get 2 days and a half of moderate usage, maybe even more. Of course, there is also power saving. Overall, I'm very impressed by the battery, I have to say. 12 hours and 15 minutes, certainly better than the 9 hours of the LG G2 I was talking about. Power saving, so here we are, battery. This is the usage pattern over the last hours. This is the battery saver, some features that you can turn on or off, the level when you turn it on or off, notification LED, and some tips to save more battery life. Okay, so this is all about the battery, very impressive, 12 hours 15 minutes. Now, as far as the audio is concerned, keep in mind we have no FM radio available here, and instead we have a bunch of very nice quad Beats high quality headphones, the same ones that come with the LG G2. They're very comfy in the ear, but they tend to go too deep in the user's ear, that may bother some people. But at least they're comfy, they have a huge volume, huge bass, so nothing to complain about. Also, we have a nifty remote here with the volumes and answering button, so very impressed by the headphones. Okay, now let's listen to some tunes. Check out the player, the exact same player that the LG G2 has. Let's turn up the volume. Okay, you just saw me messing around with the equalizer, very good equalizer. I am very impressed by the volume. It's basically identical to the LG G2 experience, the same player. I like the audio effects, the headphones are very good, and I have to say that I'm impressed by the volume, by the quality of the guitar, and everything you can hear to the speaker is mint, so no objections here. There is one slight problem though. You can actually muffle the speaker at the back, so if you place this on a surface, it becomes slightly muffled. There is a slight difference. Of course, the handset is curved, but that curve isn't enough to stop the muffling. Other than that, perfect audio experience. By the way, just like the LG G2, this model supports 24-bit 192 kHz playback, which means it supports hi-fi sound, which is pretty cool. Also got a special section here for sound settings, nothing too extreme. Voice notification sound, sound profiles, volumes, and on that a lot of volumes, and that is all the acoustics can offer you on the LG G Flex. Perfect acoustics as far as headphones are concerned. Speaker is very good, but can get muffled. Now moving on to the video side of things, I'll give you a close-up of the screen. This is a plastic OLED made by LG. It has a plastic substrate that's flexible. It's a 6-incher with a 720p resolution, 245 ppi density. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and enter the videos area, and let's see if we can try a test video. This is one of our test videos, and let's check it out. We're dealing with a screen that has a full RGB matrix, and the video player will allow you to pinch to zoom, obviously, as I've been seeing ever since the LG Optimus 4X. And you can also do something that's called track zoom on this device, and basically what you can do is, let's say you press this little area here, and you can actually see the image zoomed in. You can only follow a certain area of the clip and target its zoom. You can also do that while filming. It's a pretty cool feature. Of course, Q-Slide is supported, which is basically just like the pop-up play from Samsung. You can enlarge the image or make it smaller, move it around the screen, see other videos available here, and of course you can change the aspect ratio and the way it fits the screen. Okay, other options available here, we got play speed, subtitles, some settings, brightness, smart video that you'll see later on. As you can see, the colors are slightly oversaturated, but the image is crisp, so no objection here. Okay, so the brightness achieved by this device is 246 lux units. Let me show you. We've subjected the screen to a test using a microscope. This is what it looks like on black, and this is what the pixels look like on white. So 246 lux units as shown by our lux meter, and this is basically half of the brightness of the HTC One, slightly underwhelming. This display has serious problems when exposed to full sunlight. It cannot handle it pretty well, but the movies are excellent seen on the screen. There's something about the curve that actually makes you want to stare at it for hours and hours while watching movies. The brightness could be better, I have to say. The viewing angles are pretty good when watching videos and stuff like that. There's a slight oversaturation and the screen is highly reflective. If you enter the settings area, you'll see that the display has a bunch of settings you may be interested in. Let's see some of them. So we got the front touch button options. You can actually choose to hide the buttons when you're playing a game. Brightness options, screen timeout, fade effect, auto rotate screen, and screen mode. This one can get rid of the oversaturation or make it worse with vivid. Daydream font type, smart screen. Basically the screen stays on when your face is detected, just like the Samsung feature. And smart video, it pauses the video when you're looking away, once again just like Samsung. And we got a bunch of features for the notification LED. By the way, the power button is also notification LED, not only the one from here. Okay guys. So you can also auto adjust the screen tone. This is supposed to save battery even more. Some screen capture option and some aspect ratio correction, and we're all done. Overall, the screen is slightly disappointing. This is an expensive phone, a sort of flagship that only has a 720p resolution, pretty underwhelming brightness, and it doesn't handle sunlight, so all of these are bummers. Now, as far as the camera is concerned, it offers you 90% of the experience of the LG G2. It takes pictures with resolution of 4160 over 3120 pixels. It's a 13 megapixel sensor with f2.4 aperture and 3.97mm focal length. Unlike the LG G2, this time we do not get optical image stabilization. However, the user interface is just like the LG G2. There's even that 9-point focus that you can see right here. Let's take a quick pic and let's check it out. As usual, impressive level of detail. This brown castle that you can see right here. A lot of detail, the towers and stuff. So, of course, we're getting a very good camera, since the LG G2 had a good camera. As I said, the UI is the same, which means at the left we got the flash options, front camera, the modes, then the settings, which I'm going to take one by one, where the modes involve the following: normal picture, this one where you can erase something from your shot, HDR, panorama, 3D panorama, burst shot with 20 pics fast, beauty shot that smoothens the tone of your face, dual camera, it includes your face in the pic by using the front camera, time capture shot, you can capture seconds before pressing the shutter, intelligent auto basically selects the best scenes, sports if you're capturing fast moving images, and night if you take pictures at night. Then the settings, basic ones, cheese shutter, say cheese and you take a picture, exposure options, focus options, size and aspect ratio options, ISO going up to 800, white balance, color effects, a timer, and some options related to the keys and other stuff like that. Let's see how much we can zoom in. We can go up to 8 times, which is pretty impressive, but the quality is lost at about 3 times zoom. Okay, and what else can I say? We saw the settings. Let's go to the video area. The modes here are much fewer. Live effects, dual recording, tracking zoom. Dual recording includes your face in the video. Tracking zoom does what I did in the video player. I choose an area of the screen and focus on it, and that's pretty much it. As far as the options go, you can film 4K. You can film in Full HD 60 frames per second or Full HD 30 frames per second. And we got several other options available here: color effects, geotagging, and use the volume key to record. Okay, now we move on to the gallery, where I must show you some samples. So here we go. This is the camera area. As you can see, we've taken a lot of pictures. Keep in mind, those were taken during January, so it's very cold outside, there's a lot of snow, a lot of white, and sometimes this camera cannot cope with the snow and adds some bluish hues to the pictures for absolutely no reason. As you can see, the colors are oversaturated. These colors don't actually exist in real life, and at least we have a good white balance. The images are crisp, so the images are crisp but oversaturated, that's the problem. And panoramas look okay, but one of them is actually blue. This is an example of HDR, normal picture, and HDR picture with a much clearer view of this metallic thingy. We also can take some decent close-ups here, and here's a panorama that's actually pretty nice. Although, as I said, some pictures are inexplicably blue. You can see them here, those are white and those are blue, probably because of the snow. The HDR is good, and we even managed to take some what I would call low light pics. This is a bridge with graffiti on. Once again, very vivid colors to the point of oversaturation. And now we're under the bridge and taking some low light pictures with the flash. And I'm actually pretty impressed by this performance, especially by this picture here, where you can actually see the snow and ice from below the bridge with absolutely no problem. So decent low light behavior. As far as the video is concerned, we got here, among others, 1080p video 30 frames per second, or 1080p video 60 frames per second, or 4K video. The result is MP4 file with a bitrate of 30 megapixel. By the way, this is a low light video, and the audio capture has a bitrate of 96 kilobytes per second. We also have tracking zoom among the features, and let's try to see another video. Okay, this is actually a 4K video, and you're going to see some impressive zoom here. There's also a feature called audio zoom that disappointed us. It's supposed to allow you to actually hear people talking more clearly, even if they're in the distance. Overall, I was pretty impressed with the filming, and let's see another sample. Here we go. The level of detail is very good. The colors are obviously oversaturated, but the image is very crisp, the exposure is very good, and so is the white balance. If it weren't for the bluish hue and for the oversaturation, the camera would be close to perfection. Overall, the video is very good, the pictures are good, and the same performance as the LG G2, of course, except for the optical image stabilization and those slight defects I just mentioned. Okay, as far as the performance is concerned, I'm going to access this area and show you this thermometer that measures the back of the LG G Flex. We have played 15 minutes of a Riptide GP2. We have achieved a temperature of 37.8 degrees Celsius, so the device does not get hot even after you play on it for a while. By the way, if you notice, if you try to bend this device or play with it for a long time, you'll see that it tends to make a creaking sound that's pretty audible. Even if you're not actually bending it, you'll hear that, and it becomes annoying over time. As far as the web browser is concerned, we got a standard web browser here, and let's try to access Tablet-News.com. Here we go. It has great speed, it has some nice pinch to zoom action. Of course, since this screen is merely HD and not Full HD, you will actually have a hard time reading the text on the screen. If it were Full HD, you could read these articles easily, but this time you're in need for a pinch to zoom. Overall, I'm happy with the web browsing experience, so no problems here. Now, as far as the benchmarks are concerned, I have decided to compare, I have decided to compare this handset with several other powerhouses. I compared the LG G Flex with the LG G2 and the Galaxy Note 3. Okay, let's get started. In quadrant we scored 20k points, and we beat the LG G2 by 3000 points, got beaten by the Galaxy Note 3 by 1000 points. In Antutu, impressive score, 35k points, and here we almost got beaten by the Note 3, but we beat it by 100 points, and we totally beat the LG G2 by 2000 points. So this model beats in Antutu even the Galaxy Note 3. Of course, it has a lower resolution, that's the secret. In Nanomark, 59.9 frames per second, 1 frame per second better than the LG G2, and of course 0.3 frames per second less than the Galaxy Note 3. In Velamo, a pretty good score, 2979 compared to the LG G2 and its 2930 points, and the Galaxy Note 3 2884 points. 3D Mark maxed out first, the Extreme was 10k points, and Unlimited 12k points. Here we got beaten by both the LG G2, 15k points, and the Galaxy Note 3 a huge 19,000 points. Finally, Browser Mark, pretty good result, 2665 points. Of course, we're below the LG G2 by 200 points and below the Galaxy Note 3 with its 3000 points. We were actually pretty close to both models. The LG G2, we actually beat it a couple of times, and the Galaxy Note 3, it's a powerhouse, it's pretty hard to beat. And now let's analyze the notification area, where you can find a bunch of shortcuts. It's exactly the same experience as the one of the LG G2. We got a quick memo that allows you to scribble stuff, as I've just done here. And you can also use the background to draw. For example, if you're in the Maps application, you can draw some on a route. You can also change the tip of the pen, the thickness, the color, use an eraser. Save your memo afterwards. Okay, so that was the quick memo. By the way, you can actually trigger it by doing this, so you're not forced to go to the notification area every time. This is actually a nice way to take notes using this screen with that has been steamed on. There's also a Q slide option. Basically, this is a collection of floating windows. This is one of them, and this is another one of them. So 2 floating windows to move around on the screen, a bit of multitasking if you want. Only 2 at a time. That's Q slide. Of course, you can add more apps to the list. Quick remote allows you to control the TV set, Blu-ray player, and what have you using these quick buttons, and then a bunch of connectivity settings and a variety of other options. Okay, now as far as settings are concerned, I'm going to go to the general area, and here you can find gestures, for example. So we got the option to double tap the screen center to turn it on, which I just did. You can turn it on or off. You can answer an incoming call by putting the phone to your ear. You can flip the phone to silence a call, pause video by flipping the phone, and other things like that. There's also one-handed operation. I will basically place the keyboard in a smaller version in one corner of the screen so you can write on it better, and you can also swipe the front touch buttons to adjust the position of the buttons if you want. And we got a bunch of other interesting features right here in the settings area. Among those special features, there is a multitasking that has actually a few aspects. There is one called slide aside, so I open up an app, I use 3 fingers to swipe on the screen and pull it to that special slide aside area. The gallery, 3 fingers again, and now if I want to access those special windows, here they are. Multitasking, I can open them up or close them. And then there's yet another multitasking feature. This one is dual window, touch and hold the back button. I can drag an app right here, drag another one here, and the screen will be split in 2, exactly like we had on the Galaxy S and Galaxy Note devices. So it's a pretty cool way to work with 2 screens at the same time. Okay, we continue with the settings. We haven't finished. Accounts and sync, cloud, we got the guest mode, so if you got kids coming on, you can select a special unlock pattern and the apps that they're allowed to access. And then we got security features, location access, language and input, accessibility, and accessory options. Each time you connect an accessory, a special menu opens at the bottom of the screen, even if it's a USB cable or headphones. Okay, another concept available here is clip tray. So if I tap on a link, you can copy the link to the clip tray. If I go to the gallery, I can copy the picture to the clip tray. That clip tray is an omnipresent clipboard that allows you to take the content from it and put it in an email or use it in a photo editing app. we have arrived in that section of the review where we have a look at all the pre-installed apps. There is the alarm clock here, calculator, calendar, so pretty basic features so far. Chrome, camera, contacts, downloads, email, gallery, Gmail, Google+, LG backup, very useful. You can select items to backup, do a schedule backup, quick transfer, and other things. As you can see, we got 24 gigabytes available from the 32. There's Live Square, that's basically your stalking application. You can see what you've done for the past days. You can see your calls, your voice recordings, Facebook statuses, Twitter, and every other thing you've done. Of course, there's Maps, Google Maps. Move around the map easily, change the orientation, get us better located. And that was Maps. Moving even further, we got Memo, that does exactly what the name says. Take a quick memo, include an image, take a photo, audio, voice recording, location, or even draw something. Change the color of the memo, color-coded memos for picking up milk, picking up the kids from school. Then there is the photos, navigation, and notebook. Notebook wants to be sort of an S Note application, so like the Galaxy Note devices have the S Note, this one is supposed to allow you to draw graphs, tables, do other crazy things, create greeting cards, integrate a bunch of stickers, do some crazy drawings, add a lot of multimedia content, use that clipboard, and even integrate audio. So basically you can create wonderful greeting cards, draw on top of them, paste some crazy things from the clipboard, add normal text via keyboard. So that's what the notebook application does. Then there is the Play Game Suite, Play Store, and a feature called Q Theater that you can either activate like this, or you can try to activate it from the lock screen. Be advised that I have to try a couple of times to get it right. Okay, so here we go. Attempt number 1 failed. So let's try again. As I said, it doesn't get it right from the first time. Okay, as you can see, we got it right finally. This is Q Theater. It's basically a new way for visualizing your pics, your videos, and apparently also YouTube, although that doesn't change anything when you're using YouTube. That was Q Theater. We move even further. Quick Remote. This one is the remote control application for your TV set, Blu-ray player, or all that. Task application, you can set a reminder, sync it with a special account, describe it, and add some notes to it. Then there's the Update Center, Voice Recorder, Weather, Box, Dictionary, File Manager. That actually looks pretty nice. I like this interface. Even it includes crowd storage, dictionary, pretty self-explanatory. Polaris Office for your productivity needs. I haven't played with it much. Nowadays people can use other options. We've also got Quick Translator that uses the camera to translate in real time and also relies on the dictionary as far as I know. Safety Care, the own LG App Store called LG Smart World. I usually complain about it because it doesn't have has much content and I can't find useful apps or games, but this time I have found the game SSX. It's a snowboard game. I had a lot of fun with it, so it did something nice for a change. Of course, you can find customizations here, which is yet another cool aspect. And finally, the interface looks modern, not antiquated like a couple of years ago. Okay, and we also have a task manager. Obviously, you can stop the apps. And that was the full list of applications pre-installed on the device. The LG G Flex is ready for the big conclusions, but before that, let's talk about the phone calling. Obviously, since this is a curved phone, we have a pretty good voice input. It flexes next to your mouth, places the microphone next to your mouth, and as a conclusion, we got very good volume, very good voice quality, and the talks are excellent. As far as the software goes, I haven't mentioned it so far, probably figured out, Android 4.2.2 with some customization from the folks of LG, including the option to change the pictogram of your icons. And now we're ready for the pros and cons of the LG G Flex. On the pro side, we got the fact that this is a more comfortable 6-inch device than other 6-inch devices. I would prefer using this instead of the Nokia Lumia 1520. It's more comfy to use and the video experience is better. We got close to perfect audio, headphones are perfect, speaker is very good when not muffled. I like the video capture, I have to say, I'm pretty impressed by it, especially the 4K one. The performance is flawless, obviously, no trace of lag. The games run like a charm. The battery is very good, 12 hours, perfect. We got lots of camera features to play with. The video experience is nice. You can feel that this curve helps the video viewing, just like it does in the IMAX room. Okay, and finally, the negative aspects. The self-healing aspect is basically just a PR stunt. I haven't witnessed self-healing. The flexing is also a gimmick. You can live without it easily. Speaker gets slightly muffled. The screen is a big disappointment. 720p, not a lot of brightness. Doesn't behave good in the sunlight. The pictures and their bluish hue when taken in the snow are a camera disappointment. There is no FM radio. The case creaks. We got some bloatware applications. We got Android 4.2, not even 4.3, and the price is pretty high. And now for the grades, I'm going to give this device a 7.8 for design, an 8 for the hardware, and an 8.8 out of 10 for the operating system and user interface. The final grade of this model is 8.2 out of 10. It's not a big grade, as you can see, because this is just a prototype. It's an experiment. It's the start of the segment of curved phones. This is the LG G Flex. This is Tablet-News.com. Hope you like the detailed review. And the final grade is 8.2 out of 10. Bye bye.